What's going on, car guys and car gals?
Look at this little buddy.
This is Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And this is Fred Lenartz, the subprime hero. And we are here.
Brewing Solutions.
You know it.
Guy Coffee Podcast. We got a really seriously special guest that knows what they're talking about in the digital marketing space. And we are so pumped up to really get this conversation going. She showed up early to make sure that we can get the bugs out of the studio. And we found out we had more bugs than we were used to. There might be some internet issues, so stick with us. But do us a quick favor, folks, because the content that you're about to get inside of this cup is going to be overflowing. So do us a favor, tag a car guy, tag a car gal, and share. It's about to be a good time. Car guys and car gals, go ahead and get somebody in the cafe. You ready to do this?
Man, I'm always ready to do this. We have a special guest this morning. We've been through some fun technical difficulties. Yes. We are running about almost 20 minutes, well, 15 minutes late, but that's okay. Good things are worth waiting for.
That's
great
right.
things are worth waiting for. And we have a great show for you today. We have Robin Wilson. And here in a moment, we're going to bring her on to the cafe. We're going to hit her with this 5-liner. I love the 5-liner. I love getting to know people a little bit more, especially people of this caliber. She brings so much to the game, and she is constantly growing, and that's what it's all about. Brewing Solutions, keep growing, forgive, focus, flying, and all that good stuff, right?
Get them.
Let's go. Get some people in here. Make sure you share, because sharing is caring, folks.
Right.
That's right. Share, tag, do it all. Let's get some people in here. I know that this whole link is a little bit different. It's been this whole thing has been weird, but you know what? If there's anybody that we could be doing it with, Robin's the one. And then she's just so amazing. She's being so
gracious right
gracious.
Now.
That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah.
Dealing with the crazy car guys and their technical problems. But it's awesome. We're so excited about it. Again, tag a car guy, tag a car gal, get somebody inside of this cafe. We got some fun brewing for you. Let's go. Hey, car guys and car gals, welcome to the cafe. We're ready to play. Man, we got somebody that's got something to say, and she's got a whole lot to pour out. I'm not going to start rhyming and messing everything up this morning, folks. We got a whole lot of fun that we got to get to. We've delayed way too long, so without further ado, car guys and car gals, help us in welcoming in the one, the only, the great Robin Wilson. Welcome to the cafe. Welcome.
I was busy dancing to that intro. I was like, I love that.
Thank you so much, Robin.
All my friends on there. I knew most all those people.
Isn't that great? That's so beautiful about that video. And that video actually needs a little updating. Yeah. We haven't updated it in a little bit, but get ready for it. It's on its way. It's going to be happening. We have but the thing is, if we keep updating it, it's going to be like the whole show.
Right.
So we're going to probably make like 3 or 4 different versions of that, and then just have people on there. You'll see yourself on there soon, Robin. We appreciate you because you're going to be doing this really quick. And matter of fact, I'm going to get into it, folks. Robin Wilson is an amazing person. For one, she's the type of person who takes risks in life. She can have something that's comfortable, something that's great, but guess what? She's going to look for that uncomfortable. She's going to try to get to that next level. And she's also going to bring people with her. She's going to help other people elevate their game. She does it not just with herself, with her family, but she does it with everyone around her. I'm excited to do this. I'm excited to have this conversation with you because your personality, I mean, all you have to do is look at her graphic behind her.
Wow.
That just lets you know this person is all about having a good time, also doing it right, being artistically in the mind, because that is art behind her. That is straight art. I love that. I know it's weird. I don't look like that guy maybe that likes certain types of artwork. Like that's graffiti, folks. And that, to me, that is such a unique look. That's up to date. That brings that almost comic book feel to it. And I don't know what it is, but I love it. I love how she has like the little cloud that looks like she's saying SCP agency. So dope. I mean,
I'm like, don't know which way to point.
Yeah, I know. You'll get used to it.
Turn your head to the right just a little bit. It'll look like it's coming. Like you're saying there you go. There you go. That's it.
So perfect. But before we get started with any of our questioning, we always want to get every one of our guests involved in the Forgive, Focus, Fly. It's so important that we start that way because we do need to forgive everything of the past. This is a new month. This is the second of the month. Quick shout out to my mother-in-law. Happy birthday. Yesterday was my mother's birthday. Today's my mother-in-law's birthday. So happy birthday to you, Mary. I love you so much.
Birthday.
Thank you so much for being the light in the family. You're an amazing person. So onward. Forgive. We need to forgive the past because you know what? People, we just went through some winter. We just went through some stuff. We just got done with, we're still going in the middle of coronavirus. We just went through an election. We went through so many things that we had excuses of why, we can hold up on things, right? It's time to let that go. Let all that stuff go. Work on now. It is springtime. It is time to grow. It is time to forgive and start focusing on what you want for the future. Because without forgiving it, you can't really focus because you're going to be so focused on the past. F the past. Let's move forward, right? Let's go to the future. Focus on that. This way you can fly. And you can fly and just do everything you've ever wanted to do while soaring up there with the eagles and all the birds and looking down at the world and just knowing, man, I did this. So I'm excited to have Robin here to do this. Forgive, Focus, Fly. Folks, everybody, get ready for it right now. Let's do it.
Let's join. We'll go ahead and cross the hands, put them on the shoulders. This represents the weight of unforgiveness and all of the pressure of life that we don't need to keep on our shoulders. And we make the intentional effort to forgive it. So we wipe it off our shoulders with intent. On 3, everybody, forgive, focus, fly. 1, 2, 3, forgive. Focus, fly, and keep growing, keep growing, keep growing. Yeah, that's right. Hey.
That's right.
Hopefully we didn't blow your speakers in your car, but it's okay because, there's always room for upgrades, right?
That's right, because it's everything we just did is so magical.
But speaking of magical, it's incredible that I see her actually moving. So I'm used to hanging out with her in the club, right? In the new club that we're in.
The new club we all go to.
And on top of each other, you're just looking at people, and all you see is that little glow around their head as they start to speak, and they just sit there quiet, smiling. But now she's acting.
And isn't it hysterical? We just keep looking at the screen like it's going to do something. Like I watch it all the time, like an idiot.
Why am I holding it like this? What?
Thank you for saying that, Robin, because that is so freaking true. I mean, there's no. We do. I look at it the whole time. I'm like, why am I doing it? It's like had a habit. I think we all get used to looking at when we're hearing something, we're watching somebody. You know, so it's literally not that. So I guess the only reason I'm looking, and I'll just make this up, is I like to make sure everyone's clapping with the little.
Yeah.
I like to see who's coming in too, and kind of scroll up and down. But yeah, once the room is packed up and you're still just sitting there holding the phone, why are you still holding it? Why? Especially when you're in the car. Like,
I'll push the side button like to make my screen go off, whatever. And then like after a couple seconds, I'm like, I got to see it again.
Why?
No idea.
Why? Yeah, that's crazy. That's hilarious though. But that's again the addiction that we have with connecting to new tools that connect us to people is something that is just ingrained in us as humans. We want to have that human connection. We want to be able to know and to feel and to see, attach all of our senses together in feeling the experience of being in the room with somebody. And that's what's incredible about this new app. That's what's still incredible about using this technology. We're hanging out inside of a room. that is everybody.
We are lagging a little bit, guys.
Is that where we're at in the moment is
So the guy's been having a little bit of Wi-Fi problems.
operating off of.
My
we
goodness
got
gracious.
A little lagging going.
So I'll just carry on the conversation for a while till they like reboot. Hey everybody, Robin Wilson, and as you can see, I think it says, let me start this way, SCP Agency, and I'm so happy to be part of the Coffee Guys, Car Guy Coffee's podcast. I love this. These are my favorite two guys in the world, and the fact that I get to sit here and hang out with them is fantastic. And I know that they've been struggling all morning long with their Wi-Fi and their internet connection, and we just hang and wait for them, and hopefully they can get it back together here. If not, then we'll all just chat. So a little bit about me. I started in the automotive industry by accident. Like I didn't want to be in the automotive industry, and I was kind of forced into it. So whether that's an acceptable answer or not is irregardless. But yeah, I was had my social media agency already, and I had a dealership really just pop in and say, you have to work here at our dealership to, are you guys back? Almost. They're almost back. I've been just chatting without y'all. Let's see how it's working out for them. Yeah, there you are. Sorry, I've just been talking to everybody while y'all were gone. Still a little choppy.
I was watching. I could see you on mine, and you were doing awesome. Keep doing your thing, girl.
All right. You guys let me know when you want. When you want to be.
The show's for you.
Great. I was actually watching you from another. Okay. No, you're still good.
Okay,
one thing
cool.
that we are excited about is that we have the chance to even have you in here, because there's so many things that are going on with you. Finding a moment where we can pin you down to talk about the big things that are happening inside of your business are of course, I mean, they're valuable jewels of time, because you're somebody that is pouring so much out. We do thank you for the honor of wanting to even share your stuff with people, because there's so many people that do not want to share their secrets. There's so many people that do not want to share what's working for them, what's successful for them, what is also what pulls them down. A lot of times people will share the secret, say, yeah, hey, this is what I did and I did and I did, and you already know that is going to send them into a crash course of failure. You know what I mean? And that's not what our business is supposed to be like. That's not what being a human is supposed to be like. We're supposed to be here to help each other. We're supposed to be here.
It's funny you say that, because I had someone that I've been friends with for a long time. If I mentioned his name, you guys know him. And he actually said the words to somebody else, don't talk to her anymore. She's our competition now. And I was like, I don't believe in that. I believe in abundance. I don't believe in scarcity, and there's plenty of business to go around, and everybody has a different flavor of how they want their business done. And if anybody called me tomorrow, if they were starting anything along the lines that we did, and they said, Robin, what are you using for here, here, and here? I would just tell them everything, 100%. And I would tell them what things I used that didn't work. And so competition to me is just the, it's the anti everything I want. And we've lost audio with you guys again. But I'm loving this. I could read lips, I think. Yep, I can't.
Okay, so can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay, so what you just said, and I know Lou was going to touch on it, but I want to touch on it really quick too. But I want to say what you just said is right up my alley. We are on the same frequency. Is there competition out there? Yes, but it's friendly competition to me. It's all about there's plenty of room in this business, in the world, for all of us to be able to have abundance, like you said, for all of us to have as much. It's laid out there for us. Yeah. The problem is most people don't go after it. Not like you do, not like we do. You have to go after it. And when you do, it will come to you in abundance. It doesn't matter if the guy right next to you is doing the same thing. There's plenty. I see how many cars in the car business. I see how many cars running in front of my dealership every single day. I just want like a small piece of that. I don't need all of it. Right.
Absolutely.
So I would love all of it.
I don't want anything that belongs to somebody else. You know what I mean? I don't want your business. You know, if it's my relationship with my customer, of course I want that. And if I didn't earn it, you know what? I don't want the money. I don't want the accolades. If I didn't earn it, I don't want the award. But in it, we have a new shift that's happening where people are starting to see the value of raising up others. The entire industry of self-help and all of the gurus that are getting raised up to help you do things, whether it's build your business, build your marketing, do these things. They're building a business off of this, seeing the success in other people with the secrets they have.
Right.
Shift to the whole way we do life now.
We all have something different to bring to the table. And the minute that you think that you know it all, or that you have all of the secrets, you know, you're just so limiting yourself. Because even like within my staff, like the newest member of my team that joins here has a different interpretation of something that we do. And I may be closed-minded one day and be like, no, you're going to do it my way. But if I don't stop and consider the way that they're doing it or how they interpreted it, and even consider, will this work better? Then, you know, I'm just cheating myself.
That's right.
100%. This is why we have Robin on our show today. It's exactly the reason why. You are a leader. And a leader, it takes that type of mentality. It takes that type of thought process. And man, so glad to have you here. This is why I'm so excited about this 5-liner. Now that we've got some of the technical difficulties out of the way, we're still kind of doing some backdoor stuff in here. As you can see, we got a couple of different screens up, but we're going to make it work. And I think it's coming in together really nice. So I appreciate the patience from our audience and also from you, Robin, most importantly. Thank you for being here. So we're going to get this 5-liner started.
We will get this 5-liner going. We are going to shift real fast inside of our sound. While we do that, we're going to bring you a quick message from one of our sponsors, the Think Ad Group.
What's up, Otto?
Thinking about making improvements.
Oh yeah. Well, so we are so excited. We're pumped up. You know, we actually had every morning. This morning we finished this room for improvement. We do it on the Clubhouse, and Robin, she comes on. She's so gracious enough to come on there and drop what she's working on, and that's kind of what led us to this. I've already been kind of talking to Robin a little bit, but I got a chance to, hey, let's just go ahead and nail this thing down. I want you on my show, and so she's here. I'm excited. The 5-liner is going to be a lot of fun. Now, the very first question I ask everybody is always the same one, Robin. It's your why. What's your purpose? What gets you motivated every day to get up and do what you do? What is your why?
So my why is and always has been to create jobs. Honestly, I came from a mortgage background and went through the mortgage meltdown, right? And at that time, I had been a realtor and been in the mortgage industry for over a decade. And small business owners literally pulled our economy out of the tank. And so us serving the small business community whenever we started our agency was just to help give back to these people who didn't have the ad budgets to be able to compete with the big box brands. And then it became about not just creating some support for the small local businesses in our community, then it became about creating jobs. And up until last September, 100% of our employees were women. And we were 100% remote until, we didn't move in office until we did the polar opposite of everybody else. We came in office when COVID hit. Like we had already in our lease space and we all came in-house and then all started working together. But it's always been to create jobs. My number one goal every year when I set out my goals for the year is how many jobs I want to create for this year. And it's always about helping the dealerships move metal too. But if while I'm doing that, in Joplin, Missouri, if I can help people pay their rent, buy groceries, go take their kids on vacation, do anything else, and I'm stimulating my economy in Joplin, Missouri, then that's my goal, is to stimulate the economies of my employees, grow more of them, and to pour back into our community.
What a great mission. I mean, you can't fail when you're doing that. If your purpose is for others, and that's the key, when your purpose is for others, your purpose is the right purpose, and it will flourish. It will have abundance. And it's the best thing. The more you give, folks, the more you give. I don't know how many times we're going to hear this in our lifetime, but the more you give, the more you get. And it's really not even about the get part.
It's actually, you're more blessed because
there's the word.
If you feel the blessing of seeing somebody succeed because you gave them the opportunity. That is way better than saying, hey, give to me, hey, take from me. That's why it messes our construct in our mind of being a getter. I gotta get, I gotta take, until we start to say, man, I have the power to gain. I have the power to get, and I love to empower another. And that's one thing that I love hearing anytime that we are in a clubhouse room with you, and we hear how you highlight the people that you do work with, the ideas that you get from the people that you do work with, because that is such a valuable pool of growth, is the people that are around you. I know a lot of the processes and the things that we've created throughout the dealership is really filtering through what they're engaging with the customer. What are you going through with the customer? What are you hearing? What is it that they are saying? Why would I teach you how to combat something that isn't even the problem just because it was our problem 20 years ago, right? If that's not what your customer's saying now, well, I want to hear what they're saying now, instead of telling you, no, well, just do it the way that I said to do it, and then it's just going to be the way that I say it's going to be, instead of, oh, well, what is going on? What are they saying? Oh, they're saying this. Oh, well, here's a solution to that, and you're doing so great with that. But again, the way that you uplift your people is why, I mean, that smile stays on your face, that it's not about Robin, it's Robin's legacy gets lived out by seeing other people grow. And then, of course, bringing ROI, making sure that you're bringing a return on the investment, so that the person that spends time with you gets value out of the time that they spend with you, let alone when they put money into a marketing plan that's making them stretch outside of the box, making them mess with their comfort zones, and then say, I made how much off of this little bit?
Right.
What just happened? And it's just encouraging. I'm so pumped up that again, we get the chance to have this. I'm still
I just love that Robin, in her heart, her answer to the why was to help other people find jobs and get their people. And that to me, to make jobs for other people, to give them opportunity for growth, and the jobs that you're giving them is a great opportunity. It's where you start. I mean, you got to think, you got into this business, you did this, and then you knew that there was so much more for you. And look what you did. You took big risks, and I love it. And risk versus reward every single time, and the reward is massive, and your reward is going to be big. And you're just beginning. I know that's just starting. It's just, I'm looking forward to all of us sitting down 5 years from now, doing these interviews again and talking about how far we've come. And I know that we're all going to have a great time. We'll probably run into each other at all these little conventions that hopefully come up sooner and later. We'll have all these great meetings. I'm sure there's going to be masterminds. We're all going to be, because that's what we do. We grow. So we're always looking for that edge, right? We're always looking for that next thing. And, sometimes we have to create that next thing. And that's great. And that's one of the best things. And you've done that so well. So, man, I'm excited.
I don't want to dig into that.
Yes,
so let's dig into this a little bit. Because there's something that the auto industry was on a delay for. We were seriously late to the party of understanding how to capitalize on Facebook marketing, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of the digital platforms, right? Yes. We know how to make our millions, and this process is going to work. People got to have a car. Why do we need to change, right? And agencies for years have been kind of knocking at the door saying, hey, you might want to just try to spend a little bit over here and see what happens. And this niche for digital marketers has been out there, right? I remember sitting back, and while we created our stuff for our store to get our leads, right? We're like, man, there's nobody out there that's trying to reach out to us about this specific need. And there's such a big room for growth here. And you were inside of real estate. I'm sure that you've helped out other companies with this. What was it that made you turn this ability into the car business? How did you turn this into this industry Why did you start focusing this way?
Well, I'll tell you, and you guys know our mutual dear friend, Greg McCoy. So Greg knew that his dealership needed social media, and he didn't know like where to go find it. Like at that time, we're talking 2014, there was not a lot of companies that were serving the automotive industry in social media. Like if you go to Digital Dealer, there'd be all these lists, right? So we do paid search, we do pay-per-click, we do blah, 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 blah. And the whole line would go down on their banner in their booth at Digital Dealer. And at the very bottom, it'd go, and social media. Like it was like we know we need to, but we're not really experts in it. But yeah, we do this too. And so Greg had reached out to me. He found me on LinkedIn and reached out to me and said, hey, come and talk to me. And I didn't know him before then. I mean, lived in the same city, but I didn't know him. And yeah, come and visit with me. I want to talk to you about doing social media for our dealership. And at the time we were serving small businesses. So boutiques, shoe stores, dentists, insurance agents, commercial carpenters. I mean, just anybody who needed to get some exposure. That's who our clients were. So I went and visited with him, and then I sent him over a proposal for what we would charge to handle the social media for his dealership. And then he called me back in again, and he's like, yeah, you need to work here. Like, I don't need agency. I need you to work here because you may know all there is to know about social media. And this is Greg's word. So Greg's like, but you don't know shit about automotive. And you're not going to know it from the outside. And I said, I don't want a job. I have a business. I'm good. And he's like, I understand, but you need to work in-house. And I said, you realize if I say yes, I'm going to be running my agency from your dealership. And he's like, yeah, I kind of get that. I'm like, all right, here's all of the equipment I will need in my office. I'm going on vacation. I'll be back, whatever. So I came back. My whole office was all set up. And the funniest part of this story is they had scheduled some on a Sunday. They had scheduled this manager's barbecue at Greg's house. And Tony Watrick says, so the manager's barbecue is like at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Here's Greg's address. And I'm like, okay, do I need to be there? And he goes, yeah, it's a manager's barbecue. And I'm like, did you need social media coverage? Like, he's like, you're a manager. And I'm like, I'm a manager of what? And I was like, I had no clue that he had made me a manager of anything. And he's like, you didn't know? And I'm like, no, I had no idea. So, and then Tony comes to me and goes, so I need to put like your name and your title on your door. What do you think it is? And I'm like, what do you think it is? I have no idea. And so the cool thing about this is that although I was resistant to it, I tell Greg this all the time, that was the best education I could have ever gotten. So every Monday and every Friday, I got to sit in the manager's meeting with the 12 department heads, and I got to learn from the inside out where their pain points were, where their revenue generators were, you know, how to overcome, like if they were behind on whatever their key cash was going to be for the month, like they needed to sell 37 Optimas and they were behind, how could I help solve that problem? And it was the best, absolute best education I could have gotten, and MBA would not have served me better than being able to learn in that environment and learn from the inside out everything that dealerships go through on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And I did that for a couple of years. And then I went to Greg and Jeff Rost at the January of that year turning around. And I just went and said, look, I think that I can serve more dealerships, but I can't do it if I'm stuck in this chair at this office every day and every week. So I'm going to give you 25% of my salary back. And I want to buy 1 week a month that I don't have to sit here. And I'll still be serving your social media needs. I just won't be doing it while I'm sitting here. And then they agreed to that. And then Q2, I bought my second week back. And Q3, I bought my third week back. And when we got to the end of that year, we transitioned to a vendor relationship, and they've been my clients ever since.
That's incredible. You're awesome. And you know, that's you earned all that. You know, you put it out there, you put the work in. They would have been like, no, we need you here all the time, or right. But because you were like, listen, it's still going to be effective, but I need to grow.
Right.
That is that growth thing inside you. That is that my whole mantra, keep growing. And that's what you're doing. I love it. And sky's the limit for you. you know, I'm sure as time goes by, there's going to be so many new things that are going to come around. You're going to do some more amazing stuff, but most importantly is that you had support throughout the whole time. You had people who really loved what you had to offer. I mean, Greg saw that inside you. You know, Greg knew that you had so much potential in you to blow up, and maybe not potential. You just knew you had it in you already, right? He was like, okay, I need her here. You've got to come work at the store. I'm going to get your office set up while you're on vacation. I'm going to give you a manager position. And then as you do this, now I'm going to go ahead and let you slowly wean out of here. I'm going to give you, you're going to take a week. That was really, actually, I'm going to tell you.
It's a very great path.
The way you did that was classy. 25%, let me get a week off. Another 25, I'm taking, you know, that is how you do it. I've never even heard that before. That is genius. Great job on that, Robin, by the way.
It worked well. It was a good plan for everybody. It let them know that they could still have everything they needed and not see me there all the time. I think one time Jeff lost his crap over something because when he would shoot his commercials, I always wrote up his cue cards, and I wasn't during one of his commercial shoots, and someone else had to do it, and it wasn't written right, and he like threw a little bit, but then like he got past it.
Well, that's, I mean, when you go through life getting used to the people that you lean on, right? So of course, if that crutch isn't there, you're losing your mind, right, for that moment. The thing that I honor of that story so much is that, again, just leaning back to a great car guy, to Greg, is that he saw the room. He's the one that definitely deposited that room for growth, at least 1%. I mean, he's really
Absolutely.
in our heads when we would go down there and hang out with him. Just find a way to grow 1%. And it takes the pressure off of having to grow incredibly exponentially in the moment, right? You just get that 1% and then you can add to it. But what he had enough insight to do, because he's a great car guy, is be able to say, the market's someplace else. People are on their phone, okay? That's where they are. And if it's the little thing at the bottom of the thing that you kind of do, cool. But if you can get somebody in here to master it, and that is a master at it, you can corner that piece of the market before people start to get there. The thing is that's the other part, is putting people around you that know something you don't know. And that helped to build that relationship on two sides. One, he admitted and was real that, look, we don't know what we're doing on this, and we need an absolute expert to come in here and do so. That's you. Welcome. In the same right, giving that honor, giving that torch of expertise, also got to say, now, as much of an expert as you are at this, you don't know what you're talking about on this side. You don't know our business. You know what I mean? So this is the part where you need to shift it. And that's the thing where it's exciting for us as we look into different ventures and understanding and making the connection, is that we are car guys that do understand marketing. We understand the different flows in between all parts of this business, but connecting and learning what you know has made it to be possible for our guys to get a couple deals off of social media, our guys to be able to build up their own presence out there. And I believe that if you build your business on the strength of building your people, your business stands up stronger. Your business can weather more storms, especially when you don't just have one tool in your belt. And social media, obviously, everybody, this is really taking over. If you're listening to the show, it's because of the power of social media.
Social media is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it's kind of a big thing. That's but that's, again, something that has come in honor. He honored you, you honored him. He brought somebody as an expert.
They still honor each other,
and they're still building, right?
They do.
The sky's the limit at that, and I'm just pumped about it because he shares that same passion as you do of understanding you have a connection to people. You're building businesses that are connected to jobs and families and communities, and that's where, if you have your posture towards your people, your business is going to succeed. If you feel as though your business has to be postured, or your people have to be postured just for the sake of the business, they don't get their heart there until you're actually about them. You know what I mean? It's like John Maxwell would say that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Right.
And you're definitely in a great pioneer inside of that, and we love championing that right now, especially for car gals, right? You are now a certified 100% CGC approved car gal, and we are just honored, always honored that we can give you this stamp of approval.
Boom. Yes. Boom, right there.
Yeah.
So You know, we're having some fun this morning. We're talking about the why. We've been through some technical difficulties. We've been through a lot already. I feel like that you are officially my sister now. So, so that being said, you know, we all come up in this business. We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of people we meet. People have helped us grow, you know, not necessarily just the car business, but in business in general. So for you, as you were coming up in this business, as you have been mentors for other people, who has been your greatest mentor?
Well, you know, I would probably go back to Greg quite a bit. Like, we're very good friends, and I rely on him for a lot. And then there's times whenever I have to kick his butt too and go, have you read a book this month? It's time for you to read a book. But I do have others within the industry also that I just admire and love visiting with. You know, if you get a chance to sit down and talk with Scott Lehman at any time whatsoever and pick his brain, that guy has got his finger on the pulse of what's going on, you know, in marketing. And he knows that to be omnipresent is one of the most important things. And I mean, I've been to dinner with him where literally we're in a nice restaurant and people that are dressed up nice, having a nice dinner, is just stop and go, hey, can I take my picture with you? And he never fails to deliver. And I think that he is one of the most forward-thinking people. He's always thinking 10 steps ahead, which is fantastic. So just find those people I always just find those people who are blazing a trail somewhere and go, hey, can we get on a call? I need to talk to you about some stuff. I want 5 minutes as all I need from you. I'm not going to go, hey, let's go to lunch and then spend the whole time just racking their brain. But I am going to go, if you got 5 minutes, I'm going to be concise and ask you the things that I want to know from you and respect their time. But look for those people. I just always look for those people who are blazing a trail somewhere and doing things differently than everybody else.
And you're right on. You hit that perfect, because it's so true. And those people that you reach out to that are blazing trails are happy to share. They want to share. They want people to get on board because they understand that there's not enough people with that mentality. If there was, you know, maybe they wouldn't be if the whole world were doing it, right? It's not as easy as it sounds, you know. And what you're doing is right on the money. What you just said is right on the money. You know, you had Greg. Greg is a great mentor. Greg is a great friend. Is what he is. He's a great person. He's a great human being. Scott Lehman, great person, great car guy, great owner, great innovator. Like you said, he's always looking for the next thing. He's never sitting there and being settled for what he has. And he has a lot. This guy has a great life. He's got dealerships. He's got stores that are running great. They're always breaking records. That he's got great people put into place into those stores. I love his auto group. It's a great auto group. I'm fortunate enough to know the guy because of the For the People, group and going down there with the rich dealers. But getting to know him and his team members are amazing. He has a guy named Beto. I absolutely love Beto. Beto's been on our show. I love it, dude. He is a fast-growing bad man, dude. And he is a long-time car guy. He'll be in the business for a long time. He'll be an owner one day. I know he will be.
Absolutely. Well, and some other new ones right now. I mean, not new ones. I mean, I've known Tustin Ulrich for, as long as I've known Greg McCoy, Josh Negron, Echo Mayo. I mean, these people are the people that I reach out to whenever I go, hey, I don't even know what to measure here. Tell me what I should be looking at, and they never hold back for me. If I went and sat in Josh Negron's office for the next 2 hours, he would open everything and just give me or go, this, these are the things that we do to create this, blah, blah, blah. And, there's probably not a month that goes by that I don't go to lunch with Tustin and we just have a think tank. Like, let's just think of other things. What can we think of? What have you been exposed to? What have you been exposed to? And so, those, and I don't like, so Greg and Scott are the OG, right? Like, they have been doing it for a long time.
Yes.
But then you see these people coming in because, Tustin inherited Greg's legacy, right? But then went in and made it better and improved on it and brought different flavor to that dealership without deconstructing everything that was already built. And you got to look for those people who are innovating and doing things in a new and different way, and then go, how did you do that? Why did you do that? Did that work? And they'll share their successes and failures with you if you'll just give them, the respect and the honor that they deserve, instead of be like, oh yeah, well, you inherited a dealership. That dealership is 100% different than when Greg McCoy ran it, and not taking anything away. They just added to, and I love it.
The business changes. It's evolving every single day, and you have to evolve with the business. And when Greg left it, he left it in great shape. When Tustin took over, and Tustin's a great car guy, folks. If you guys don't know him, I'll probably have him on the show one day. You love it. He's always looking for the edge too. I see him doing the 800 Club. I see him doing all these things. Amazing guy. I absolutely love him. Greg's talks so highly of the guy. And like you said, he brought the dealership to a new level because he is constantly looking to evolve. But Greg had planted that seed in him. You need to evolve. You need to constantly look to grow. You know, that's just, like you said, his legacy, Greg's legacy is and Tustin's part of it. I love that. And it's great. That's a great feeling. That's all we want to do as human beings is leave something on this planet that, you know, we're part of. You know, Tustin will always talk about Greg. I 100% know it. And Greg, he'll always go on. If I asked him that same question I asked you a moment ago, Greg will be in that reply. I know it. And but that's beautiful. And then there's people though. There's going to be plenty of people that one day we'll interview that's going to be like, Tustin is that guy. You know, but they don't realize how deep that goes. That goes because of Tustin. It was because of Greg, because of this, because of that. You know, and it's a beautiful passing of what we need to do in this business. We need to change it. We need to make it better. And there's a lot of us out there doing that. You're doing it. Greg's doing it. Tustin's doing it. You know, Glenn Lundy's doing it. We're all out there trying to evolve the way people in the United States, the average consumer, looks at the car person. It's hard. We've seen the commercials at the Super Bowl. We've seen those things. We see what the average consumer thinks of a car guy. We know it, but yet 90% of us don't do anything to change it, right? We all keep doing the same crap, keep lying to the customers, keep doing all this, doing that, doing whatever it takes to sell a car instead of what it really takes, being honest, being a human being, taking care of your clients, asking questions, promising what you deliver, you know, delivering what you promise, I should say, you know, but that's something it's rare to say. It's crazy. Most people in the car business try to do it the wrong way.
That's the great thing about the dealer for the people, right? Their mantra is, you know, finding solutions to the everyday problems that keep you stuck in a car that you hate. Solutions, finding solutions, right? That's the part of it. And so when you stop looking for the solution for the customer and just start selling them a car, you know, what benefit have you given them other than you took a piece of metal, moved it down the road, the people will never be back again. But if you find a solution for them, then you've changed their life.
And they will never go anywhere else besides you. Now, the only reason they wouldn't is if for some reason you weren't there anymore, they can't get a hold of you, which is crazy with social media. You should always be able to get a hold of somebody, and they should always be able to get a hold of you. So that's
and if somebody got their
that's
attention,
a whole other story.
So there's so many trails that we can take on that because again, this is the auto industry, and this is marketing, and you always have to be able to shift. Once you're done with that 2, 3, however long hour deal that you put together for that one customer, that's it. Next, it's time to go to the next thing. It's time to figure out the next campaign. It's time to figure out the next way that you're going to help somebody else, the next solution that you're going to brew. And there's always a tiering in the levels that we go into. So like speaking of the legacy that gets passed down and gets pulled forward, you have people that will build a massive skyscraper. And it's not the same person that handles the interior as the one that laid the foundation. You have an entirely different crew that shows up to set that foundation, put that foundation in place so that something could be built upon. Then you have a whole other team show up to lay the steel, lay the wood, whatever the framing is of that. Then there's the aesthetic part, the way that it looks. And then after it's all built and everybody sees how great and magnificent it is, you have to fill the offices. And then you have to maintain it. Right? So there's a team that goes to maintain it. And then eventually after this big, massive, wonderful construction is working and it's doing all of its things, then it gets upgraded, right? It gets changed. The piece of it gets pulled away and then it gets upshifted and uplifted. And the thing about the culture that you're talking about, like Scott, is that he is so focused on seeing a legacy continue, that he understands that, yes, right now, he's a face that can't go to a high-end restaurant without being spotted and somebody getting, hey, man, you want to take the selfie with me real quick? You know what I mean? I understand that. And sometimes that's why people limit their exposure, right? Bam. And that's something that, I mean, as annoying as it could be, he understands the seeds that he's sowing so that he can see somebody like Echo, his daughter, take the reins to build up and take pieces of this business and go to the next level. That's what we were talking about earlier. You find the people that you can trust to go into that growth with. You find people that then you can empower to grow it their way. And then you get to clap and say, hey, fantastic, you're doing it. I'm sure that Greg, I already know he is because I see his face when he speaks about Tustin and how he's growing and how he's leading his team and where that is going, because he knows he dropped that seed. But Greg has the people to attribute his growth to as well, just like
no doubt.
just like
Everybody
we do.
does, yeah.
And the biggest thing is to stay focused on leaving that legacy where other people can take a piece of what you deposited in their hand and make something great with it without having to worry about whether or not you're going to be upset that it might look better than the way that you had it. You know what I mean?
It doesn't make you less by,
Right.
I mean, it will never make you less by helping someone be more.
Oh my gosh, say that again.
One more time.
Dude, give me that one more time.
That's right. It will never make you less by helping someone else be more.
Boom.
Boom, show's over.
All right, cool, guys. Drop the
Done.
mic. We'll see y'all later. You guys have a great day. Enjoy. We'll see you next week. All right, so that is a great, powerful, profound statement right there. So true. So simple. But there's Beto right there. They're so true.
Oh,
So simple, but most people don't get it. And I don't understand why they don't. You know, it's like they don't want to give up something. Like you said earlier, they don't want to help somebody elevate because they don't want somebody to be better than them. But that's not the case. That is not the case. There's no such thing as you're better than me.
I hope everybody that works for me gets better than me. You know, I would be so happy if I just saw them out learning something and they said, Robin, I have to show you this. I know you don't know it. I want to show you something that I learned today. And I would just be like so excited that they knew something. I'll tell you one of the things that whenever I was at the dealership, every dealership has a gatekeeper, right? Gatekeeper is the one who keeps all the people who come there pitching stuff from the GM. So you have to sit through every presentation, demo, whatever, and then decide which ones filter on to the king. And every time someone would demo something and it was something I didn't know, this is a true story. So this lady came to pitch our service department. This was probably late 2014 for like $2,000 a month. We'll take all of your service customers' email list, drop them into Facebook, create a custom audience, and then market to them, blah, 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 blah. And at the time, I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't know. And so back in my office, Googling, how do you do this thing right? I'm like, you don't need to spend that $2,000 because I'm getting ready to learn this thing. And so every time I would set through a demo, I would go, I didn't know that could happen. Let me learn how to do that. Let me learn how to do that. And so if everybody that works for me, gets exposed to something and then goes and learns how to do it, and they bring, fantastic. I mean, if they leave here and go run their own social media agency, fantastic.
That's exactly.
Plenty of room for everybody.
Yes.
You're talking about abundance out there, folks. Abundant.
Absolutely.
There's so much, and I hate to use the word money, but there's so much money in this world. We just got to go.
So much wealth.
Yeah, wealth. That's a good word of putting it. There's so much wealth in this world. Go after it. We all deserve it. We all can get a piece of it. And the people who are the wealthiest have so much excessive abundance of wealth that they're willing to share too. They just need people who want it. They want people to come up there and take that money the way they're supposed to. They're not sitting there. They're not going to give it to you. You got to earn that. You got to work hard. You got to grind. You got to keep growing. You got to forgive, focus, fly. You got to do all those things, right? But when you do that, that money will come to you in, like you said earlier, in abundance.
Yep.
And it will. And it will come to you, and you won't even realize it's happening. You're like, man,
It'll chase you down.
It will. It
Eventually,
literally
it'll
will.
find you. If you're doing the right thing, if you're sowing the right seeds, the fruit is naturally going to come. It's just the way of actual order. And when you put people before profits, and you look at your relationship over your revenue, and you see how it is that you relate to people, because remember, whatever the product is, you're still delivering it to a human. This is another human being right here next to me, right there across from us. And we appreciate the people. And
that's funny. So my Apple Watch, every hour goes off and says, stand up. And so I do. So every hour I stand up, and our building is kind of set up like a big circle. Like you just walk around this big old circle, and I just get up every hour and I walk through, and it's funny because I'll walk in there and go, hello, humans. And they're like, hello, Robin. So they are. I mean, you just have to understand all of these humans. I mean, while I have them here today, they belong to me, and it's my job to take care of them, to the best of my ability.
And they want to see the most out of them.
And they want that from you, and when you show that you care and that you want to invest inside each one of those people every single day, they're going to invest in you too. They're going to invest in that business. They're going to take ownership of what they do every single day.
And give their best. They're not going to give kind of their best. When people are inspired by the coach that they play for, they pour out their best. When they're inspired by the people that they get to team up with, they give their best. And when they're encouraged, and I'm going to say it again, encouraged
Mhm.
to give their best. Told that, hey, sometimes you may not have hit your best mark right now. That doesn't change your value to me. Your value to me is still a person that I honor and value. You may not be doing what is expected of you at the moment, but I appreciate you. I want what's best for you. Go do it. I encourage you to do so. I believe in you. Everybody has a bad day. Everybody.
And you can only lead them as high as they want to go.
Exactly.
Right. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with the fact that this is where they want to be, and then push them to that. Right. But the next guy next to them maybe want at this level, and it's okay to take them to that level, but you have to be okay with the level that they want to be at. One of our core values is that we provide merit-based opportunities for employee advancement, which means, number one, I don't care if you've been here 10 years, if you are not hitting your numbers, if you're not doing the things merit-based, right? And if you've been here 1 month, merit-based. So it's not like the guy that's been here 10 years is going to get the promotion just because he's been here 10 years. You know, come in, do the job. And if you do the job, I don't even care if you've been here 1 week, 1 month, whatever, you're going to the top. We're going to push you up that ladder. And we have a outsourced BDC. And whenever we started it, I started with 6 seats. And in 30 days, we outgrew the room that I had 6 seats in. And our room is now 16 seats, and I'm moving back into the 6 seats again, and then another 4 seats. So like by the end of this month, I'll almost be out of room for that. I probably am. But one of the things I knew that we were going to go here because when COVID hit, 2 things happened in BDCs across dealerships. One is that the dealerships gutted their BDC and said the salespeople can take care of all the leads. And we all know that salespeople that's not their strong point, is getting on the telephones. It's just not. And the second thing that happened is most BDCs are filled with women. And when the children got sent home to be homeschooled during that time, they lost a huge majority of their BDRs. And we really hadn't planned on having a BDC full force in 2020. We planned on spending 2020 as a year of research and development on getting all of our processes fine-tuned with a couple of small clients that we could just work through all of our processes with. And we just got shoved forward and just kept getting shoved forward, which is a great thing. But whenever I moved that team out to the 16 seats out here, I walked out there because my original 6 moved out and they were filling up seats. And I said, I'm telling you right now, at the end of 2021, we're going to have a 100-seat BDC, and I need 5 leaders to come out of this group right now. I need 5 leaders that are going to rise up and start becoming leaders before you even have the title. And I said, I don't want to hire a leader. I want to grow one. So you guys tell me what you need to grow to that level, and I will give you every bit of support I can for you guys to get there, because I need you to get there as much as you want to be there. And they are killing it. I mean, our core team that we started with is still here. It's fantastic. I think I've only lost 1 person out of the BDC of those core 6 that we started with. And it's fantastic. We just have a great culture here, and they want to learn and they want to be more. And at their last jobs, they were never encouraged that they could have anything they want.
Wow.
You are an amazing leader. So, to me, it gets as simple as that old saying, follow the leader. You know, and the leader will tell you what's going on. If you go to anywhere and you walk into a business, look for the leader. You see what the leaders, what they're doing. That basically tells you what the rest of their team's going to do. You know, because the leader, everybody does what the leader's doing. If the leader's lazy, the team's going to be lazy. If the leader doesn't care about their team, they don't care about each other. If the leader, so it's all reflective on what's going on at the top. Fish rots from the head down, right? So you have to make sure you're a good leader. And I love these points that you're putting out. Folks, if you're a leader out there right now, or you're wanting to become a leader, take some notes today. I hope you have been. I mean, these notes they're precious. Taking care of your people, encouraging them to grow, finding leadership within your team, and taking challenges like 2020, a year that you were going to do something completely different, some research development, kind of break it down, get with your current, clients that like you said, and work on those things, fine tune them. But yet that didn't happen. You had to do something else. You had to fine tune it a whole different way. You got slapped with stuff. You lost BDRs. There were so many things that were going on during that time, but you grew.
And I failed a lot, and I was okay with it.
No, that's how you grow. You can't grow without failure. That's what the fact of the matter. Everybody out there, it. If you didn't fail, you weren't even trying.
That's
I mean,
right.
you have to fail a lot to be able to. If you're not trying, you won't fail at all. I promise.
Right.
It's okay. If you don't want to fail, don't try. But if you're trying, you're going to fail so much. But yet you find those failures as success because you're like, man, I'm glad I got that over with. Now I know what to do. I got that over with. Now I know what I don't want to do next time. Right. So there's so many things that come with that, the failures. But failure just sounds like a bad word. But when you change your mindset and think of failure as a good word, like, oh, great. That's one less thing I have to worry about before I get to the champion. That's why I used to tell my
to success.
That's why I tell all my salespeople, listen, you may pull 5 credit bureaus in a row, can't sell a car. You're not a failure. You're that much closer to doing 3 or 4 in a row that can. That is that's way world works.
One of my favorite books is by Andy Andrews. It's called The Traveler's Gift. And if you haven't read it, I read it once a year. And one of the things that he says is that God did not give me the ability to make 100% right decisions, but he did give me the ability to make a decision and then to make it right. And so the thing is that so many people get stuck waiting to make that perfect decision. It's like, just make a decision. And then from what you've learned from that decision, then make that decision right.
That's the importance of grace, right? And that you give yourself grace as you give others grace to have the failures, to have the mishaps, to have the great ideas. Money gets poured into it. It's a flop. Okay, we get it. It's not going to work. Let's do something else. Let's adapt and overcome. And I mean, that's something that we did in the military, right? If we were dealing with a problem and there wasn't a standard operation procedure to go through, there wasn't a manual to read, we said, well, adapt and overcome.
That's it.
Figure it out and continue to move forward. You charge forward. And the thing that you pointed out there is about your people that are comfortable. That is, I mean, guys, that is a great jewel inside of what she said, is understanding where people are actually happy. Some people that got to the level that they're at, you don't understand that's the best they've ever been. That's the greatest achievement that they've achieved, is to get to that seat that they're in, having the success that they've had. Other people have already felt that, seen that, and are hungry for more. The great passion that I have is to taking the guys that follow us, our salespeople, our coaches, and letting them see life differently, putting different food in front of them, because some of them just don't know different foods. Here's a gift card to a restaurant you would never, ever go to or put your own money up to go to. Go there, eat there, experience that, see that, and that, boom, that changes the. I didn't know you can eat like that. I didn't know there's somebody that's going to come clean up my crumbs while I'm in the middle of getting my next course, right? I didn't know that. And I know, because I know me. I know what that was like. I know what my interview outfit looked like when I came into the car business. I had to learn how to dress like a grown-up in the car business and church culture, right? I figured it out as I went through time, but I was excited when I got that first base model shirt in the box. You know what I mean? With the tie. You know what I mean? I was pumped up. I thought I was doing something. I was a big boy now. And I was so proud of it, so happy with that. And then I learned how to upgrade from there and go to the next level. And you have to understand where people are at. They're not going to be where you're at. And even if they are,
but some people don't want to be, Lou, you know, not to cut you out, but there's some people who don't. And like Robin said, and I love that. And I'm glad you bring that point back up, because you got to remember something as a leader, that not everybody is you. They're not going to think like you. They're not going to want to get to where you're at. Some of them are you. Some of them are just happy to have a job, right? But our job is to encourage them, you know, as they grow. You know, some people, I know in my time, there was times I was satisfied. I was like, man, I'm at a good spot. This is good. But as time went by, I started realizing I'm dying. I'm not growing anymore. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer for other people. Sometimes it took a little longer for me. I'm in my 40s. Don't get me wrong. I've been in this car business a long time, and I felt like I've been a superstar the whole time. But I really realized over the last handful of years that there's so much more potential than what I was doing. So that being said, sometimes it takes a little longer for people, but you encourage them up to the level they want to be. And you do that really well. And you have to understand, some people want to be you. Some people want to be this person. Some people just encourage them to be the best version of themselves, period. And when you get the best out of them, the best of them, that's it. They're giving you their 110, but their 110 isn't going to be your 110. It's never going to be your 110.
Oh, never.
It could be better. Who knows? But what I mean is, no one is exactly like you. We're all individuals. That's why we focus on being the best version of ourselves, but encouraging other people to do that too. And that's the giving part. And Robin, I love it, because you're bringing up such great points, and those all are exactly right on my frequency. And
That's
I love
why she's
it.
on the show, folks. So while we're doing this flow here, I mean, again, we can talk forever, and we And some, like you said, some things take a little bit longer, like to get on the show today, right? We ran into so many issues that
It's going
that were
smooth now, though.
technical. And what we figured out, hey, this is working, this is not working. And it's very easy to say, you know what, chalk it up. We're not going to be able to do the interview today. We're not starting on time. It's not going to be the way it is. We're embarrassed. We look like we don't know what we're doing because the internet, there's a cause that we don't have control over. Sometimes you don't have control over the things that happen. You don't have control over the weather. You do not have control over what actually happens inside of the stock market outside of your investments.
Right.
And so when things get crazy, it's very easy to chalk it up and get mad and start pointing fingers and, oh, what could go wrong? And then you lose faith in other people. But that's an opportunity to grow, right? We shifted today to, again, like we were kind of saying earlier, a lot of everything that you're seeing here, we started on our cell phones. So the way that we initially made this connection today was by way of the cell phone, using the hotspot because there was an issue with landline, Wi-Fi, and all the other things that were going on. But we made the adjustment. We learned a little bit of a hard lesson that, oh man, being out here in the country too, even that cell phone reception hotspot is going to get spotty, right? But we adapted, we overcame. So I want to, again,
now you have another tool, but now you have another tool in your toolbox. You know, when crap goes crazy, and this is what we did to fix it last time. We can do this again.
That's what I'm talking about.
We learned, and we became that much better today.
That's right. Thank you for upshifting and uplifting us. So do us a quick favor, car guys and car gals, real quick, before we get to this fourth question on the 5-liner, I want to just make sure that Robin does know how awesome she is to all of you. For those of you that are watching, go ahead and give her a cheers. Go ahead and put a coffee emoji inside of the comments there. Just let her know that you like sharing this cup of coffee and conversation with her. We do have other incredible people that we are teamed up with that are helping bring this message to you. I just want to let you know that being with Robin definitely helps me feel elite.
It does.
Especially because she's always talking about how you can get to your next sale. So thank you again, Beto. Thank you so much for putting that cheers up there.
Beto,
man,
God,
he's a fast
I miss
tracker,
him, man.
folks. I do miss you.
I
Can't
miss
wait
you,
to
bro.
see you all again. We need to have a car guy convention for all the car.
I'm telling
guy
you,
coffee people,
we're gonna
car
have a
guys, car
caffeinated
gals.
culture convention very soon to the Triple C's, right? So we're gonna eventually have that, and then get everybody together. We're gonna get pumped up, caffeinated, drinking some car guy coffee, masterminding, doing everything we can to get to the next level. So that's gonna happen. I'm putting it out in the universe. I've been putting it out for a little while, but that is something that we're in the works, and it's gonna happen. We're gonna have plenty of our sponsors involved. We're gonna have all kinds of stuff. Because once this whole world opens up and we can do this and we can get people to feel confident about sitting down next to other people, we want it to happen. We want it to happen like today, but the sooner we can make it happen, the better. And we're excited, people like Robin, hopefully, she could be somebody we can have come as a speaker or something like that. You know what I mean? We're going to invite a lot of great car people, and it's going to be a lot of fun, but the most important thing, it's going to be a lot of fun. That is the biggest thing with Car Guy Coffee. I think what we bring is my favorite ingredient, whether we're coming into caffeinate your culture, whether we're doing a show, interviewing, is we're bringing the fun. F-U-N, my friends. Fun, fun. But no,
let's get to this next one, because I know that
can go
we're
all
taking
day,
up some time. You got a lot of solutions. You got brewing to do, and we can get a little talkity. And we warned everybody that was going to happen. But with this, and getting to having a convention, and getting to this opportunity that we have with you today, there has been many things that you've ran into, a lot of struggles, a lot of big wins, and we don't often highlight our big wins. But just like today, we learned we have a new tool. We understand how to reconnect things. What has been inside of your marketing career? What has been one of the hardest lessons you've had to learn over the time of building up your agency?
Well, one of the things is in the agency speak is called churn, right? One of the things when I first started doing this was like I had things that I thought were more important than that dealer relationship. And so once I would sign on a new dealer, then I would abdicate that communication to somebody else on my team. And one thing that I had forgotten from being inside the dealership, I don't know how I forgot it, but like if you're not in front of them, they forget who you are. And then when somebody else comes along to pitch them, they'll go, yeah, we can free up this much budget here. We'll just cancel that service and then put this money over here. And so when I finally I would be at like 10 dealerships, right? And then I would get 2, lose 2, get 2, lose 2. They call that churn, right? It's like staying at that same level. And so when I finally discovered that the magic sauce was being in front of my dealers on a quarterly basis, then I just started building it into what I did. And then every quarter I would go and visit my dealers and be in front of them, roll out like anything new that was coming up, see what was going on in their world, what new did they have coming up, did they have any community events they were going to be part of, how could I help reinforce that since I wasn't here but once a quarter, how could I do that? And when I started doing that and being able to invest in who they were, what they were on a quarterly basis, then I didn't have that churn any longer. Now, obviously 2020 was a year when we didn't get to do that. And so then it just became more important to over communicate with them in the manner that we could. But that was probably the biggest lesson that I learned once I conquered that they need, if you're out of sight, you're out of mind. And then that line item budget thing is going to go away. As a vendor, they're just going to cancel you because they just don't know what you're doing for them, especially in the social media world. Because one of the main things that we bring to the table is brand imaging and top of mind awareness. And it's just like if you look at Glenn Lundy, and he seems to be everywhere, right? He's omnipresent. Your dealerships need to be omnipresent also, but not so much that someone's going to unfollow you because you're just drowning their news feed, right? They need to be just gracefully touched by it on a daily basis somehow. Anything that you can do to engage with them. We have a kind of a magic recipe that we do whenever we create our content for our dealerships. And it kind of goes along the same lines of Gary Vaynerchuk's jab, 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 right hook, right? So we give, and then we ask. And so it may be on Sunday, a motivational quote, because that's the day when people are in that frame of mind to be inspirational or motivational. And that's the day that because they're in that mindset, they will more likely share that piece of content because that's how they are in their mind. If you drop a motivational thing on Monday, they're not in that. They're in hustle and grind mode. So then every Monday, we start with a contest. We kick off the week every week on a Monday with a contest. We've trained our audiences to come back every week and participate in that, give away free oil change, whatever we give away. Then because they've engaged with us on Sunday and Monday by the things that we've given them, we've served up to them, then on Tuesday, it may be a new car post, right? I've given to them, and now I want them to see the thing I want them to see. And because they engaged with me on those 2 days, this new car post is going to pull into their feed because they participated in my contest, they shared my motivational quote. Then we'll maybe go into Wednesday with an engaging post, something funny that's trending, whether it's Bernie and his mittens or whatever it is, something that they're going to engage with, right? There's no value to it. Do you like pineapple on your pizza or not pineapple on your pizza? Are you an Android fan or an iPhone fan? All of those things that will get them to engage, if we can get them to click, either like, comment, or share, then when I post something again, like on Friday, a pre-owned special, it's going to pull into their newsfeed again. So we're very strategic in how we create the content that goes out for our dealerships. But if they're not social media people, they don't understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. And they're just like, why am I paying this company to post pineapple pizza stuff, blah, blah, blah. And so that every 90 days being in front of them and kind of going back over the strategy and why we do what we do organically, for the organic equals free, then that just helps a lot. But I didn't learn that lesson until I had lost quite a few clients and just kept in that cycle of churn. And so we don't see that attrition any longer now. And I think that coming into 2021, as we see things loosening up and people returning to whatever normal looks like now, I can't wait to get back on the road and get back out and visit my dealer partners. But that's probably one of my biggest lessons. Don't abdicate the throne. Communicate with those people. You're the one who signed them, and they want to talk to you.
And yes, enough. Woo! Wow, love it, Robin. Oh, there's so much that you just dropped inside of there, folks. If you weren't taking notes on that,
I know we were. We started taking some notes ourselves. You dropped some great, as they call gems, right? Yeah, you dropped some gems in there, and those gems are very precious gems, folks. That was free.
Yes.
So the next one's not. She's going to charge. But this one, but those were free. So what I mean is that if you listen to what she said, if you heard everything that she was breaking down there, I mean, the way that she was talking about how you engage with your clients on social media, those are some great tips, folks. You can do that as a salesperson. You can do that as a dealership. You can do that in any business that you do. Like she said, Gary V. I love Gary V too. You know, jab, jab, right hook. And when you do that, and don't take the right hook as a bad thing. That right hook is what you have to. You don't always ask for the business, but eventually you have to. You can't sit there and just be nice the whole time and at the end say, well, thanks for coming. You got to eventually say, do you want to buy? Because if you don't, they're not going to, but you have to earn the right to buy, just like going out with the girl. I always tell people that and don't take this the wrong way if you're a female or male, it doesn't matter. When you're dating somebody and you first started dating them, did you just go in straight for a kiss the first time you met them? No, you have to get to know them, make them feel like they, see if you like them, if there's any kind of connection there, if there's any electricity. Once you have that conversation, you build the rapport, then you have the right to go for a kiss. But you can't just walk in and go for a kiss. It doesn't work that way. It's the same way with any sales. You can't go in and say, hey, buy this from me. Not without getting to know them, seeing what they really want, what their trigger points are, and all that stuff. It's all connected. It is all connected. And that is genius, what you just dropped. That is exactly what people need to hear.
What you explained there in the complementing relationship between organic and paid ads, right? So although organic to the pocketbook is free, right? It's not free in creating, in the time that it takes to make the content and the effort that it takes to go do it. That is the part that, although it is growing organically, that is what you definitely need to be able to have the base for what you're going to pay and send out your message. That's when it's going to be actually engaged better. You shifting it from the jab, jab, right hook to the give, then ask. I mean, that's a genius understanding and how to re-explain that, because that's really how a relationship is. Like we said earlier about John Maxwell, they don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. And I don't have a right to speak into somebody's life until I've properly received them. They won't let me. I dealing with kids on the street, right? They're not, everybody's closed off. Nobody's hearing you until you've actually given them some value, given them some worth, gained their respect a little bit. Then at that point, you can ask them to engage with you. Then you can ask them to maybe show up, maybe change their thinking a little bit, right? And with your customer engagement, you're saying, here's some fun content. Here's some cool stuff for you to enjoy with us. And now we have an offer. I have now, oh, okay, well, they weren't just that person. That is the term, the give, then ask. I love the way that you shifted that because it is so key, guys. That's some genius stuff. You need to apply that. Again, Robin is right there and you can reach her and she wants to be able to help you out. She has a culture. Again, it's not just Robin. She has a business and an entire team behind her that are helping her amplify the heart that you can hear right now. And that's making sure that you are achieving your result, right? You're not there to achieve Robin's result, right? Or the agency's result that they have as their mission. You have your mission, and she knows how to make sure that she gets your mission. If it means she takes her agency into your store and builds her business inside of your dealership until she can buy her way back out, she is about you accomplishing your mission, and I honor that. That's not. I
really way honor that. That's
some pioneering solution.
That's some really. There's not a lot of stories out there like that, and that's a great story to share. And she also talked up this every 3 months going in and revisiting dealers to be able to maintain the relationship and to reflame that relationship.
Yes.
Because a lot of times it's just that after a while, if they don't, like you said, out of sight, out of mind, they're going to be like, why are we still doing this? Even though it's a very important tool. You have to go in and say, hey, how you doing? This is why you're doing it. And I'm going to keep you excited. I'm going to keep you motivated. I'm going to keep you going. So folks, we are going to get to this 5th question. This is one of my favorite questions ever. Through all this business, you've had trials, tribulations. We know your why. We know why you got in this business, how you got to where you're at. We know what motivates you. We know what type of mentorship you've had in the past. We know the path of that. We know what kind of failures you've had and where you learned and grew from. But out of all this, what's been your greatest reward?
I think probably I know that sounds probably silly, but our leadership team. So our leadership team are all started as just employees with us. And I don't mean just our leadership, I mean our executive leadership team. So Beverly is my business partner. Shasta runs our BD. Actually, Shasta could run this whole show if she had to. Shasta runs RBC. Jessica and Christine do absolutely anything I ask them to. Right now, they are self-marketing our Facebook Elite Response team. Christine's out on the road right now setting up 4 more rooftops for our BDC in New York. Kyla, who handles all of our marketing for SCP Agency, and then Amy, who is employee number 1, is our design lead. These women who they just started as employees and came together as a team with a unified goal in sight. And matter of fact, I'm late for it and they'll be okay with that right now. But every Tuesday, I don't know if you guys implement EOS, but we do. Every Tuesday, we have our level 10 meeting where we all come to the table. We have all agreed on whatever rocks we're going to. We are all unified in the vision of where this company is going. And that we have developed that and built that as our executive leadership team. And there's never a time when between this group of humans, the 7 of us, that somebody asks one of the executive team for something and they don't just jump in and do it. And nobody says it's not my job. That's not what I do. I'm probably the only one that says it's not my job 100 times a day. I'm like, why am I doing this? This is not my job. That just means it's something I don't want to do. But nobody ever does that. They're just like, yeah, let me figure it out. Let's figure it out. I may send Kyla 3 links a day to something I want her to learn. And they just pick it up and do it. They are our greatest accomplishment is this group of 7. They're the most amazing team I could ever ask for.
That's a great leader right there.
That is it. That is.
Oh,
yeah. That is the way to wrap that up. That is the way to let your team know, let's go this week. That is the way to encourage people. You are a great leader, Robin. You really are. I'm so honored to have you here this morning. Yes. I'm so glad you gave us this hour and a half of your life, because I know that time comes and it goes, but it never comes back, right? So we do appreciate it. Thanks for going through the troubleshooting we went through this morning. You are a true solutionary, and I appreciate it. Folks, if you don't know who Robin is, now you know who Robin is, right? Yeah, you guys know what she's about.
Listen to the whole episode again. Watch it. This is going to be released on podcast, and we're going to let other little pieces get out there of this great
Watch it on the replay. It's going to be on Facebook, LinkedIn. If you didn't catch it all, it's all there for you.
So much good stuff inside of this session, and we're so thankful for it.
Magical stuff.
Every time that you do, we're so thankful for it, whether it's in Clubhouse, whether it's right here on the Car Guy Coffee podcast. You are always brewing solutions. You are always pouring out your best, and we are thankful for that. You have a great team, you have a great business, and the sky is it's not even the limit.
No,
right?
man.
You are out of this.
Elon Musk showed us that we can go to Mars, so let's keep it going, right?
So thank you so much, Robin. Again, we are definitely going to reach out to you to learn more, because there's obviously, folks, so much to learn from her. Yes. She is an incredible solutionary in what it is that she does. Always brewing solutions, always upshifting, always uplifting. I just can't say thank you enough. I'm going to overdo it and go another 20 minutes saying how thankful I am that we've had this opportunity. But I know you have a lot you got to go do. We have a day we got to go own as well. And we're just so thankful that we had the time to just brew a solution with you, have a cup of coffee, have a great conversation.
Great morning. What a great morning. I am pumped up.
Building this relationship.
I'll get to work. I'm seeing you guys too, so you just have to tell me what your sizes are, so you can be.
Oh my God, I want that.
Yes,
okay.
We need to do a swag exchange.
We're going to do a swag exchange. When I get off here, I'm going to send you Lou and I's shirt size. It's the same.
All right.
We'll send you the shirt size and the address, and then you do the same. Reply back with your shirt sizes. Give me everybody's shirt size in your team, and let me send you guys some swag and stuff.
Cool, man. I'm excited. This was the best Tuesday morning kickoff ever for me.
Oh man, folks, y'all saw that.
Yes.
Oh, we just did it. Let's
car guys, hit that music real time. We're gonna get it out of here the same way that we came in, just bobbing our heads a little bit. Folks, we want to make sure that you do know you can go to carguycoffee.com, get you a sip of some caffeinated consistency, and you hear that sound? That's what it tastes like. Okay, so car gals, it smells just like it tastes. Delicious.
Delicious.
But we are so thankful that we had Robin Wilson inside of the cafe with us. Car guys and car gals, this is Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And this is Fred Lenartz, the subprime hero.
And we have been brewing solutions with Robin Wilson. Robin, how do people get a hold of you?
Robin at socialclimberpro.com.
Hit that one more time. We had a little bit of a hiccup again. One more time.
Robin at socialclimberpro.com.
Get you some of that. Again, we're so thankful that we had the chance for a great car gal to jump in here with us. She is a true expert inside of her field, and she has been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast. Let's brew. We're going to rock out. Thank you from Exogloss and all the other incredible solutionaries that we're teamed up with. Robin, we love you. We're so thankful for you. Keep brewing solutions, everybody.